So you can see it's pretty poor quality. There's a lot of flaws, and all this has to be repaired. Because the only part that's not repetitious is what I'm doing right now and making this mold. After that, you have to redo every part of it every time. So this is what the mold is right here. So the mold is a two-piece mold. And this is a bust, right? Part of like a little jockey that I made. And so it gets molded around there like this, right? The rubber. And then it puts all these guide plugs. And so it's two pieces with the wax on the inside or the clay. And so then before they take it off of there, they'll then put a plaster hard shell because there's no strength. And the reason for the plaster is because when they go to pop the wax plug out, if you just have it solid, you'll break the plug, right? So you pull the plaster pops off, and then you work the latex rubber out of the undercuts and stuff. And so then you end up with this piece. But what's critical with this, and the reason why I haven't used this is, see the thickness? This is too thick, this wax. This is probably a 1/16 thicker than it should be. When this goes to get casted, all this in here, because it's this thickness, it's that thickness all the way through, the bronze is so expanded from the heat, and if there's that much mass of bronze in there, all the detail disappears when the bronze cools off. And so you end up with a real flat piece. So this is like a worthless plug right here. Even though this cost, just for these 4 guys right here, cost me a couple $100 to get made. So but it's no good. So you have to really be, because I still, from this point on, there's probably another 30 hours to get this wax ready to go. And then, so then when you do get all this done, and I don't fit this piece together, but I get them all lined up, and I get all this cleaned up as close as I possibly can. And then it goes to the foundry, and then the foundry will cut a big hole in the back, cut it all up again. And then they'll start attaching these vents and gates, what they're called, so that when the bronze goes in through the gate, it can access the gas through the vents. And what's real important is that, well, and then they fill the inside so that you just keep this thickness. But what's real important is that the gas vents and the gates are all properly lined up so that the bronze can fully fill everything. So it's a pretty much of a whole nother science. And then then this goes into a burnout oven. Now you've got this big shell. It's like, for this size, it's like this big around for this one guy. Goes in this oven, about 2,000, it's 1,800 degrees is what it is. And it melts away all the wax. Wax just disappears. That's the lost wax technique right there.